profession and for our well-being to get all our hands on AI. So this will be a crucial webinar, like what all revolutions we will be discussing about what all revolutions is being happening from Silicon Valley of USA to NIRC and India. So I think this webinar will be crucial to see what all is happening in AI and what all technology is upgradation is happening.
Okay, Rajat, almost 82 members are there. We will be formally starting at 9:30, right? So I request to all the audience member to please request your near and dear ones. Those who want to join the session, please join us by we will be formally starting by 9:30 with the speakers and introduction. So request you all to please share with your near and dear ones so that we can have a good audience to start with. Yes, Navyaji?
Perfectly fine. We are circulating it, and the members are in the process of joining. And
Yes.
so I hope the technical team is also sound and they have circulated. Sanjeev, have you sent the reminder mail? Sanjeev?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Done.
Perfect. Okay. And if the voice is clear, let me ask to the audience, if the voice is clear, please let us know in the chat box. And today we will have our a keynote address from our chairman Abhinav Agarwal ji. Under his leadership, we are doing wonderful things. We have started many series under his guidance. And to be very honest, this is the first with the foreign chapter in this year. We had done many in the last year, but with the USA, this is the first time the NIRC is doing with the San Francisco chapter itself. Like and yes, Navyaji, if you want to tell something about all the series we are starting or something. Just for 10 we have some 8 to 10 minutes in spare so that you can share about all the initiative the NIRC is being taking. And we have with us Vinit Koleji, Chairman J&K branch. I welcome you, Vinit ji. CA Jagjit Singh Jacks, Nikasa Chairman, also there. And our faculty for the day, CA Pavan Singh ji is also with there. Yes, over to you, Navya.
Thank you, Gaurav ji. It is an immense pleasure when we talk about the initiatives that NIRC is taking under the able leadership of Abhinav Agarwal ji, the chairman NIRC. It is now we are turning in the race of 100 days, and I should say we have been doing wonderful series in the name of one that is only empowering and talking about women, that is Shakti. That was the initiative taken this year, where only Shakti series we cover the empowered women who talk about their success journeys, the Sampoon journey, which talks about how to make you complete in all aspects, including the soft skills, where all the technical professionals desire the upgradation. There is a concept of Samvad, where we talk about the initiatives of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for all its members. There is a series of Ayushman, where we take in the steps for the health professionals who guide the professionals how to maintain the work-life balance with the uh, uh, maintaining the harmony of work-life balance. Then we have a tech deck series. This is the need of the hour. When we talk about the tech deck series, the chairman was very clear that there should be a separate series where the professionals could update themselves about the technical upgradations of softwares. Even our chairman was concerned when he talked and introduced this series that how to use a mobile in an effective manner so that a professional can upgrade himself. Then we have a startup lab. When the chairman was discussing this series and he incepted this series into the curriculum of NIRC this year, he was concerned that startup is the most favored aspect in India. So Startup Lab, he promotes the professionals not only how to guide their clients, but also when they can start their own startups. And the most important Gurukul series, when these series was introduced, the Gurukul is the technical bootcamp series where we pick or choose a perfect and detailed topic and go into depth. There is other initiatives like Krida Shala, where we talk about and we do physical activities from home or in the ground. So these all series are incepted by the chairman, and we are now following his footsteps and how he is taking the mentorship ahead. I am sincerely thankful to the whole regional council team who is tirelessly working and leaving no stone unturned to make this dream come true that the NIRC is going to set new milestones. Handing over to you, Gauravji. Gauravji, you're
Hello.
mute.
Yes. We have with us our chairman Vinith Koleji from J&K branch also. Like, I think that Vinith Koleji is sitting in the city of J&K, like in a snowfall city. So I am operating this session from the Manali, like in the snowfall as well. Like, and we have our coordinator with us here, Rajat Jainji, a notable person, intellectual, and a young man with dynamic uh, nature. And we have with us C.A. Jagjit Singh ji, Nikasa chairman, who is looking after all the events of students and perfectly planning and shaping the future of the profession with the students. So I request now, Navya ji, I think like we should wait for 3-4 minutes more, right?
Yes, and the members are joining. It will be turning good numbers.
Yes,
So
yes,
we
yes,
can
yes.
take.
Officially, we will be starting at 9:30. We have with us CA Manisha Anarkat ji. She is the secretary of San Francisco chapter of USA. We have with us the faculty Pavan Singh ji. We have with us Mr. Raghav Mehrotra ji, who is operating and guiding and supporting to CA Pavan Singh ji. Like we will be formally starting within 4-5 minutes, ma'am, and the program will move as per the M2M, right? And till that, if anyone want to share anything like unofficially, we can start it. Yes, yes, Manisha ji, how are you?
All good, and thank you so much for this partnership. We are looking forward to it. And unfortunately, Abhinavji and Gauravji, we didn't get chance or heads up in advance, or we could have just leveraged the topic you wanted to do, right? So this time we'll just be with the AI, but next time we will have more topics on that same
Yes,
of the.
actually, let me explain to you, Honorable Chairman and Secretary. Like I had words with the San Francisco chapter of USA. Then we wanted to do seminar with more of the opportunities for the chartered accountant. And actually, this is the first seminar they are doing with NIRC in the history. Like, so they wanted to go with the AI. That is what the technology. Whenever you think about the Silicon Valley, the first thing which will come in your mind is technology and technology. Like from the morning to evening, whatever we are using, we are totally dependent on Silicon Valley. Like when you wake up in the morning, you book a car, it's from Uber, it is being controlled by Silicon Valley. When you drop a WhatsApp message or read the WhatsApp chat, it is being operated by the Silicon Valley. When you tweet, it is being operated by Silicon Valley. When you like use your mobile, Apple, iPhone, it is being operated by Silicon Valley. When you talk about Google, when you talk about Amazon, when you talk about Intel, when you talk about HP laptop, when you talk about Microsoft, like the whole day we spent like 90% of our time of the working time with the Silicon Valley operation only. So the Silicon Valley knows each and everything about us. So this will be the first webinar, and the second time we will be having some more webinar with the US chapter. Mr. V. Sarunachalam sir has already confirmed me that he will be like networking us with many more chapters of USA. Yes. Anything, Vinith Koleji, you want to say before we formally start?
Thank you so much, Gauravji. I shall wait for the, 9:30
Official speech only.
official, yeah, so that we
Yes,
can start
Jagdish, you
official.
want to say something unofficially before we start? Jagdish ji, you want to say something?
Very good morning, everyone. Thank you, Gaurav bhai. Gaurav is our treasurer of NIRC of ICI, and of course we have the presence of Abhinav Agarwal ji, the chairman of NIRC, Manisha ji from San Francisco, the secretary of that, and of course chairman of Jammu and Kashmir branch, Vinith Kohli ji, Rajat ji, and of course my younger brother Navya Malhotra ji, the secretary of NIRC. Rajat ji is the coordinator, and of course we have Raghav ji and Pavan Singh ji as a speaker for this webinar. So thank you, Gaurav ji, organizing this webinar, because this webinar is very important for the chartered accountant, because we all professionals working together, and definitely it's a good platform and it's a good opportunity for the chartered accountant when we are clubbing the two countries, like the San Francisco America and of course India. So each one, we all are looking for something from the San Francisco and something from the India. So these are the opportunities. So how to enter, the chartered accountant from India can enter into the America, and of course the American person, they are looking opportunity in India. So this is a good platform created by Gaurav Agarwal ji. So I would say just saying, this is from my side, and thank you for this arranging these type of webinar. This is a good opportunity taken by the NIRC, of course the all team, and good efforts by done by the Gaurav Agarwal ji. Thank you, Gaurav ji. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. It's a team effort always. Gaurav Agarwal in individual capacity is nothing, but Gaurav Agarwal as a treasurer NIRC, along with the chairman, secretary, and Nikasa chairman and all the team, is everything. Pavan Singh, the last 1 minute, if you want any special thing or you.
Gaurav, let's start the meeting. Or
Okay. Okay, over to you, Rajat ji. Rajat ji, please formally start in 1 or 2 minutes. Yes, please.
So shall we start, sir?
Yes, Rajat,
Yes.
please start.
Okay. So a very good morning to all who are joining from India, and a very good evening to all the participants who are joining from the USA. So today this webinar is conducted by NIRC jointly with the San Francisco chapter of ICAI, and we will be discussing and we will be interacting on a very prominent and a very emerging topic, that is artificial intelligence, AI. So as the name suggests of our webinar, we will be discussing all about the new technology AI and how AI can bring opportunities for CAs. So this webinar is also for all the revolution that has been already taken by AI from Silicon Valley to NIRC. So before starting, I would like to introduce the San Francisco chapter of ICAI. So San Francisco chapter of ICAI has its inception in 2017, and since its foundation, it has been the best overseas chapter of ICAI for 4 years. The chapter has played a pivotal role in expanding the ICAI's footprint in USA. Since 2019, San Francisco chapter of ICAI has incubated 16 ICAI offices across USA, and they have been coming up with 5 more offices in 5 different states. So this has been the largest and the fastest overseas expansion in the history of ICAI. So this is all about the San Francisco chapter of ICAI, and I would like to request CA Vineet Kohli, Chairman, J&K branch of NIRC, to have give some words of wisdom. Over to you, Vineet ji.
Thank you, Rajat ji. Honorable Chairman of NIRC, CA Abhinav Agarwal ji, Secretary of NIRC, CA Navya Malhotra, Treasurer of NIRC, CA Gaurav Agarwal ji, Nikasa Chairman, CA Jagjit Singh ji, and members from US chapter San Francisco, Honorable Chairman, CA Sudha Michael, Honorable Secretary, CA Manisha Narkat, in absentia, CA Vish Anunachalam. I'm so sorry, but if Arunachalam. Yeah, Arunachalam. Our honorable guest speaker, CA Pavan Singh, along with Raghav Mehrotra. Great welcome, a warm welcome from India to all of you. It's been, it's little early, 9:15 a.m. in India, and there must be a dinner time in US, San Francisco. So this is the first time I am seeing that NIRC is doing such a great thing with the foreign chapters, which has never been happened in past, as per my experience. So I look more forward to, more such webinars in upcoming months or weeks. So the dynamic chairman, CA Abhinav Agarwal, when I saw this flyer of Silicon Valley, from Silicon Valley to NIRC, I thought the idea, from where this idea came. So this must be, the wonderful idea ever I have ever seen. And the topic we have chose, that this AI, artificial intelligence, this is the talk of the town, talk of the nation, talk of the world. And this topic is not only for, members of institute. This topic is for everyone who is interested in artificial intelligence, who wants to work with artificial intelligence, who wants to survive with artificial intelligence. So I just want to share a little, experience. I just shared this flyer on my WhatsApp status. I got a message from my friend who is a non-member from Canada, that what is ICI doing in USA? ICI is India, and what is ICI doing in USA? So this is, a very opportunity, a good opportunity for me to explain him that ICI has foreign chapters. ICI is not in San Francisco only; it has throughout world. So it was an immense pleasure for me to explain him. He was very happy that ICAI is a global body. So with this, thank you so much, all the panelists and all the attendees. Handing over to you, Rajat Jainji.
Okay, Rajat, let me make one request. Only greetings to the chairman of Abhinav Agarwal ji, NIRC, and Sudha Michael ji. Let's skip all the introduction in between, please. For all the members, yes.
Okay, sir. So thank you, Vineet ji, for your words. So I would like to request Navya Malhotra ji, Secretary NIRC, for some words on wisdom. Over to you, sir.
A very, very good morning and namaskar to all of you who has joined, and a very good evening to the members who have joined from the United States, and greetings of the day who are joining from the whole world. I think it is not only about United States, it is all about the world who has connected and seen the power of the Regional Council and the Institute of Chartered Accountants today. I am very happy and would like to start with one quote, that we all say that AI will replace humans, but it is not the humans will be replaced, but rather the humans who will not use the AI will get replaced. Sincerely thankful to the Regional Council Chairman Abhinav Agarwal ji. He is not only working in the morning, but if this session would have been at the 3 a.m. in night, he would have joined at 2:30, I am very sure. To the whole leadership of San Francisco and Sudha Michael ji, who has been taking the leap forward with Gaurav Agarwal ji, I would like to give a 1 minute maximum introductory address, after which you will be hearing to our chairman. We all say, as we delve into these intricacies of the subject, we all know it is imperative to understand the pivotal role of the interaction in this journey. Interaction between both humans and the artificial intelligence system. I was reading in the chat box, it says AI not only refers to artificial intelligence, but it also refers to America, India. As Gaurav Agarwal ji rightly said, when we read about San Francisco, the thought that actually comes to our mind is technology. The AI powered tools into the accounting processes, into our profession, optimizes the efficiency and accuracy. I would like to thank all of you who are connected today, and the Secretary Manisha Narkat ji, Speaker Pavan ji, Raghav ji, everyone who has joined, Vineet ji, Rajat ji, who are taking all the pains to actually materialize this dream. Handing over to you, Rajat ji, and all my best wishes to Gaurav Agarwal ji and to the whole leadership of the world chapters who will take leap forward with the regional council and get in with us under the leadership of Abhinav Agarwal ji and set new milestones that will create history forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Navya Malhotra for your words. Now we have with us CA Sudha Michael ji, chairperson of San Francisco chapter of ICAI. So I would first like to introduce her to all the members and all the participants. So she is the chairperson of San Francisco chapter of ICAI. She has been fostering the growth of this chapter since its inception. She has been living in Silicon Valley for the past 30 years, and she has been an entrepreneur taking technology startups to successful M&A acquisitions. She has been diligently contributed to ICAI's US expansion, and she's also an active leader in the Empower Women Circle. So I would request Sudha Michael ji, chairperson, to say a few words. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajat. I will do some slides so that you can just very easily, understand who we are and what is our journey. So give me a second. Let me share. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning to everybody at NIRC. And even though it is a little late in the evening, it is our absolute pleasure to come and participate in this global meeting. So, in fact, before I start my presentation, it was nice to have a segue into, people still are wondering why CA chapters are there abroad and what CA chapters are doing. It is just funny that, I heard about that because the whole day today, me, Manisha, and Pavan, we were all in the TiCon conference. So TiCon Silicon Valley is the biggest conference. And ICAI San Francisco has a booth there. And the whole day we have been talking about who we are and doing brand building. We were there 8 hours standing and talking exactly the same thing, trying to articulate. I'll tell you a little bit more about our story and what we do here in the US. Okay. So the Institute of Chartered Accountants, so many of the chartered accountants have gone abroad, and ICA was seeking to increase its footprint, by establishing foreign chapters and representative offices. Again, chapter is a full-fledged functioning unit. Rep office is a smaller footprint, only 5 members needed in the region. So through rep offices and chapters, we are trying to get, expansion, right? So what are we trying to do? I mean, there are about 6,500 chartered accountants all across US that we have connected so far. And to this day, I mean, there are CAs right in my backyard, in my region, in Silicon Valley, whom we have not connected. We try our best to spread the word around, to do the branding. But we want to just make sure that when 6,500 chartered accountants who are very successful in their own areas of work, be it practice or industry or finance or academics or technology, when all these people come together, great things happen. So our endeavor is for bringing everybody together. So our ICAI rep offices and the chapters play an important role. US is a very big geographic expanded country. So we really need a footprint in each of the regional locations for us to be able to network and create that impact. So each of these offices and this expansion is very vital for us. And we have incubated offices across 16 regions in the USA from 2020 to 2023. So when we had, COVID hit us, I mean, the first 3 years from 2017 to 20, the US San Francisco chapter was the only chapter we were, meeting in person. Between 20 and 23, we really embarked on this expansion effort. And this is where we stand today. We have the headquarters. We are in the process of getting a national office because we have so many chapters and we have grown so fast. So we are requesting that, which we believe will happen soon. We have 11 chapters and we have 7 representative offices. But these are the ones that are in place today. But at the same, so here you can look at the map. You can see that we are there coast to coast, north to south. So we just really want to plant, offices, rep offices and chapters in every state, because that is where we can, really come back to in-person networking, really try to create the magic that we want to create. And these are things that are work in progress. We are right on the brink of inaugurating 3 rep offices in Kansas, San Diego, and Tennessee. And a bunch of the current rep offices are now almost ready and ready to become full-fledged chapters. So we have Atlanta, New Jersey, Ohio, North Carolina, Florida, all ready to become chapters. So we are, every day the numbers are changing. It's very difficult, to exactly tell how many offices, how many regions, how many states we are, because, there are offices every time chartered accountants start coming together in any of the states. They are really excited to, come together and, plant the flag in their respective states. So we have the Minnesota, the Tennessee, all of them coming very soon. So we are very proud that in the 75th year, we were able to inaugurate the 50th overseas chapter. This was the Michigan chapter that got inaugurated in January 2024. And we will continue, as you saw the names and the numbers, we will continue to have more locations and more offices. We aim to create economic opportunity, of course, for the US-based CAs in the US. And we want to help them in their careers, and we want to help them in their, wealth building and the financial growth. And that is why our vision to have, for 2025 is to have 50 states, 50 ICAI chapters, offices. So that is our vision. So we are working towards it. Let us see, it may be a little bit here or there, but we really want to get there. So about the San Francisco chapter itself, 2017, we were the first chapter to get inaugurated. The then the then president of ICAI, Nilesh Vikamji, came over to San Francisco, and we had a grand inauguration. And since then, we are a very close and a very vibrant chapter. We really are Silicon Valley. We want to bring the best of Silicon Valley, to the rest of the fraternity all over the globe. And it is in that spirit that today we are having, Pavan Singh, our very, successful technology entrepreneur, coming and going to talk to you about, AI in the accounting and finance. These are just show and tell some of the events that we have had. We always have a budget analysis. We have, Piyush, whenever he comes, he just gives us time as a fellow chartered accountant. He always gives us his first meeting in California. The Unite in America is our endeavor of expansion. So we keep expanding rep offices and this thing. And we are closely working with the Consulate General of San Francisco. So the gift cities and investment opportunities in India, we are constantly creating US-India pathways. And we were really, really honored when Modi ji came to US. All of these chapters, we all came together. We made sure that there was a good representation of chartered accountants be there to welcome Modi ji in Washington. Again, some show and tell of this is our CA Day celebrations and some PhD event, celebrations. So we are all proud chartered accountants. We always carry the mantra, once a CA, always a CA. So we are proud chartered accountants, first off, wherever we have reached today. But being a chartered accountant and becoming a chartered accountant gave us the ground core skills to our success today. So I will just quickly go and wrap this up with, the AI era. And today we were at TICON. The TICON theme for this year was ubiquitous AI. AI is everywhere. We have to embrace it. But at the same time, we don't need to fear it. There is still, the human element is very vital in a service industry. So these are the things that we learned, is that stay updated. I mean, it's a new technology. Everybody is learning. We can learn too. So, let us stay updated. Let us attend workshop webinars. Even ICAI has a AI focused thing. So let us keep learning about it. We have to focus on client relationship. We are in a service business. So AI cannot automate. So there will always be a human in the loop. We are all going to be relevant. We are only going to be better at what we are doing. Continuous learning, we can just get some certifications, we can learn some prompt engineering, we can just develop our technical skills too, so that we are able to be able to use AI and offer the best. Again, Pavan is going to give us use cases, talk very specific, but this in general, what we are hearing of how accountants should embrace. And embrace automation. I mean, no need to reject it. It is coming. It is a force that we cannot stop. So wherever we can, repetitive tasks, we don't need to be doing mundane tasks anymore. We should be doing higher order tasks. Let AI take care of the repetitive tasks, and let us just get into more analytics. We have lots of data. Let us analyze, let us provide a higher order service. So this is what embracing AI, general spirit, what, we want to be doing. I think I will end with that. And thank you very much for inviting. I am just looking forward to Pavan's presentation, and off to you, Rajat.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. And it has been quite
Rajat, just invite the chairman NIRC, skip everything else. Just for a quick introduction, chairman NIRC, please.
Okay. So I request C. Abhinav Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC, to please address the participants.
Thank you, Rajat. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you, and good evening to our San Francisco chapter chairperson, CA Sudha Michael ji, CA Manisha Anakat ji, CA Vish Arunachalam ji in their absentia, and our guest speaker Pavan Singh ji. Welcome to the first session of the Global Connect webinar series. I want to start by thanking the San Francisco chapter and their team for collaborating with NIRC for this unique initiative. Our world is closely linked, and as things keep changing quickly around us, it's important for us to come together and share our knowledge. Our mission with the Global Connect webinar series is to connect a platforms similar to Doctors Without Borders for chartered accountants across the globe. This initiative will act as a bridge connecting Indian CAs all over the globe, encouraging the exchange of knowledge, fostering professional growth, and reinforcing our commitment to the ethics and standards that our profession upholds. By connecting with one another, sharing insights, and discussing innovative solutions, we can collectively enhance the profession and raise the CA banner high. In this light, I am thrilled that our first webinar is in collaboration with the ICI chapter in San Francisco. This shows how we can all work together and grow professionally, no matter where we are in the world. I believe this Global Connect webinar series is just the beginning. Together we will progress, and together we will achieve success beyond our individual capacities. Thank you all once again for being a part of this series. Let us look forward to a series of engaging and enriching experience that not only enhance our professional lives, but also contribute significantly to the global community of chartered accountants. Once again, thank you for my team, CA Navya Malhotra ji, Gaurav Agarwal ji, program director of this series, my chairman of the J&K branch, C. Vineet Kohli ji, moderator Rajat Jain ji, and all my team members, including my Nikasa chairperson, Jagjit Singh ji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words. Now, before handing over the stage to our today's speaker, CA Pavan Singh ji, I would like to introduce him to all of you. So, CA Pavan Singh ji, he's a fellow CA. He's been the part of ICAI San Francisco chapter and has been deeply involved in creating strategies for adoption of AI in a safe and secure manner. He's currently involved in creating a private GPT for ICAI He's also a co-founder and CEO of MangoDog.ai, which is a AI platform which is being built specifically for accounting and legal professionals. So thank you, Pavanji. Over to you.
Rajat ji, thank you so much. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Esteemed panel and everybody on the call. I see a total count of almost 188 people. Really excited, and also my first words of gratitude for everybody to spend their time listening to this session. It is our great pleasure. Sudha, thank you so much for the introduction of the ICAI SFO chapter. I think uh, you know, I heard so many good things about the Silicon Valley, or didn't realize that so much is happening from here. And so many companies that you speak about, Gaurav ji. One interesting fact that came up to my mind right as you were speaking were just to find out how many companies have Indian, how many of these companies actually have Indian CEOs. And you'll be surprised that list is a pretty long list right here, whether it is Shantanu Narayan for Adobe, or Satya Nadella for Microsoft, or Sundar Pichai for Google, Nikesh Arora for Palo Alto Networks, Rajiv Suri, Arvind Krishna. This list just keeps going on and on. So proud to be an Indian in the Silicon Valley. So really glad to be over here again. Thank you everybody for your kind words. I'll actually get directly into this session. I know there's excitement about this topic, and if you allow me, I can start off this discussion. Rajatji, do you want to say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can please start. And the thing you mentioned that every CEO is Indian. We are looking for the time that every CFO will be an Indian chartered accountant.
Very soon, very soon. Actually, while I start this, let me share my screen with. Hopefully, you're able to see my screen. Share. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, all right. Very quick. First of all, again, Rajatji, thank you so much for that introduction. I am a chartered accountant, qualified in 1994. I am a Delhiite. Grew up in Delhi. A lot of fond memories while doing CA and driving up to the CA Institute every day in the morning for the classes. So very, very fond memories over there. I have been fortunate to be a founder of HighIQ.ai and now recently a MangoDog.ai. I have on the call, I've invited my product manager, Raghav Mehrotra, also to join in. He does a lot of product work, and I thought the best thing to do over here will be to give you all a flavor of how AI is working today, and how fast things are happening, and how soon you are able to create things almost out of thin air. As we are saying this today, let me just say the objective of our session today is to understand and collaboratively understand artificial intelligence and its impact. I also want to talk about how it is impacting our specific area, which is accounting. We'll cover some of those areas in greater detail. In a nutshell, if I were to say this, and in fact, I'm stealing the words of Jensen Huang. He's as you might all know, the CEO of NVIDIA. I had the great pleasure of hearing him speak today. And one thing he mentioned was very, very notable today. He says that as you have natural resources like, water and coal and air and all the natural resources that a country has, nobody realized that even data can be a natural resource. Data and people I think they are the most important natural resources of any country, and we should be very protective and very, very happy that how much data India has right now, because all that is going to convert into the AI of the future. So keep that in mind. As an accountant, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of use cases that you have. And I will always say the SME, the subject matter expertise, will always remain the king. So in all the slides that I'll follow up over here, we'll talk about how we will use all our experience, all our knowledge, all our expertise now with the power of AI. I will keep an eye on the questions, and so that if there are any questions I can answer, I can do that as well. Okay. All right. Let's. Navya ji, I think you answered my question, my slide. I don't know that I did not share the slide with you. So I'm hoping that this is a question that everybody is thinking about. Is my job going to be taken away by AI? I don't know the answer to that question. I know that AI is in the minds of everybody. But as you said, Navya ji, and this is a statement that I've also heard every time, AI is not going to take away any jobs. I think it's going to create different types of jobs. Of course.
I would like to say, Pavanji, here that AI is a supplement to humans, but rather it has to complement us, not replace us.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
AI is created by humans, not the humans have been created by AI.
I agree with you 100%. And the idea is it's a calculator moment, right? Till the time the calculator was invented, we used to remember all the tables or had to remember all those tables. But once the calculator comes in, I can do all the complex calculations very quickly. Same thing with AI. We can use a collective knowledge to do things much faster. Okay. Again, we will always have to differentiate between information, knowledge, and wisdom as the items of a conversation. Wisdom is only human. Wisdom cannot be attributed to a machine. Knowledge, intelligence, yes, we can think about it, or intelligence driven by knowledge, I can think about it. But the wisdom of how to use, what to use, where to use, has to be the human. You might call it the human in the loop, but has to be human driven. Cannot ever be given out to anybody else. So AI is becoming very, very powerful, but it's also very important to see how we will use AI in our sphere of influence. So, needless to say, it is very important to learn how to use AI. It's in front of you, so you've got to know how to use it. How do you use it in such a way? Where will you apply this AI so that you look good, right? You want to be a person who can use AI to your benefit. And as I said earlier, remember, the subject matter expertise is always going to be the king. If you don't have subject matter expertise, don't expect that AI is going to come and suddenly give that to you, because then you don't know whether AI is giving you the right information or not. There is a lot of bias, by the way, within AI. Who is creating this AI? It is getting created by humans. You look at it, in fact, in a lot of discussions, it comes up. Eventually, you will see that there are only 4 or 5 large companies who will create this AI and who will have the main models over there. It's OpenAI, it's going to be Google, it's going to be AWS in the form of Anthropic, possibly Meta. I need to see. Llama is a big, big new AI. We had a lot of presentations about Llama today. So 4, maybe 5 large LLMs, these will be dictating our worlds. again, as I said, they're controlled by humans. The moment they're controlled by humans, that means they have an inbuilt bias. And we have seen in the past what humans can do. Humans have motives which we don't know whether they are good for us or not. Therefore, our subject matter expertise is going to become very important and key in as to how we will use AI. Okay, again, words of wisdom, but let's move forward. I see there's about 186 people over here. I am not 100% sure in terms of how you are using AI today. So I am going to use this session to be like a basic session. So please bear with me. If as we go forward, I'm happy to come in again and talk more about how the applications can happen. But if you feel that I'm going a little less, if you want to advance over here, do drop in some notes over here. We'll talk more about it. The basics of AI. AI is built on largely three things. Okay, one is of course machine learning aspects of it, and machine learning is a very deep subject in itself. It could be small machine learning models, or now, as you call them, the large language models, right? That's the way the machine is able to understand the human being. And as again, in the words of Jensen Huang today, machines understand only numbers. How does the human programming convert our language into numbers is the part that the machine learning part takes care of it. I don't think we as accountants need to go into the details of that part right now, but we must know that there is a machine learning element over here. There's a data training element over here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next few slides. The second part is the natural language processing. I think I already did a little preview to that there's about natural language processing, which converts the human language into the machine language. And then, of course, automation, robotic process automation, whatever I'm able to do with my hands, my fingertips, I'm able to convert that by software. Robotic process automation, something that started off in about 6 or 7 years ago in a large way. You have companies like Automation Anywhere, you have companies like UiPath leading our way towards using of these robotic process automation kind of activities. I'm sure all of you are in some way or the other aware of all of this. And if you're not, I'll encourage you to at least do a little bit of read up on these aspects. Briefly, again, machine learning allows you to do predictive analytics. It can look at these models are very sharp. They can be trained to look at the history and generate the forecast. They can be, we've done a lot of work in image conversion, understanding the images, even medical images, any type of images. So we can do a lot of machine learning and very quickly because of the tools that have now got created, right? So machine learning is a very important area of expertise, mostly done by the engineering side of things. NLP, we've just spoken about it. NLP is where you'll apply natural language processing. And in the case of accounting, you can apply a lot of NLP in the areas of auditing, contract reading. You can use NLP capabilities of a large language model on a lot of documents, whether it's an invoice or a purchase order or a contract. You can really apply NLP to read things much faster. And I think as time is progressing, the quality of the readings have become extremely good. And it's actually improving on a daily basis. Okay. And then, of course, I spoke about the robotic process automation. I will want to, at this stage, let me see what kind of questions I'm getting at this part right now. Okay. If there are any questions, I'm pausing over here for just a second, just in case you want to have any questions for us. Okay, here. Which AI is reliable and good to use for AI account professionals? Okay, I will talk about that. AI tools. Okay, I'm going to cover some of these topics in the next part of this discussion. Okay, so bear with me on that part. Okay, let's do some actual use casing over here. And I think, as I was saying earlier, AI, there are 4 or 5 large tools, okay? The ones that I like personally, I like OpenAI a lot. I like Gemini a lot too. Gemini has become Google's Gemini. It started a bit late, but it has impressed me a lot. They are very, very good with their learnings, and their outputs are fairly superior. I haven't been very fond of Llama yet. I've seen it working, but it might be my bias, but I am not a very big fan of Llama yet. And for those who like AWS, I think Anthropic is doing really good from a chatbot point of view. So all of these AI tools have some or the other power in them. It all needs to be a lot of what I call tinkering, understanding. These are those days where you have to apply yourself and learn while doing it. Okay. You will find something good in each one of these, and they're all comparable. But as I said, I'm very fond of OpenAI. It was the first in the market. It changed the way I looked at things. It changed the way we all have been doing our work. So I'm going to get into something interesting over here. We do a lot as accountants. We do a lot of research, right? I tell you, I do a lot of research before I go to a customer. I do a lot of research in understanding, what the company is about, what are their promises to their customers, what are their financials at the back. And as an accountant, it's always good for me to understand, are there internal controls in this organization? How are these internal controls being looked at? And I think the best source of information for me, always, for when I'm doing analysis of a new customer, for example, is to look at their annual report. The annual reports, or in the US we call them the 10Ks, they are a powerhouse of information. But all of these reports are 100 pages, 200 pages, 300 pages. So unless you know what to ask of this report, it takes a long time to analyze this report. Okay. But you can use the power of AI to do your work very quickly. That is very interesting. That's one area I find very satisfying, because it does 2 things for me. I'm able to do research very quickly. I'm actually able to look at the deficiencies of that company, so that when I go and talk to those leaders of those company, I'm going empowered by information which they have published themselves, which means they cannot dispute it. And because when I do that, then my conversation becomes very strong. Okay. So today I've got 2 use cases. One use case is identifying material weaknesses. I think all accountants are risk averse, and they like to look at, hey, what is this guy hiding in his accounting annual report? Okay. And a lot of that information comes out from the report itself. As I said, it might be a little controversial topic, but I think the best way to use AI is to attack it from the front end. Okay. And the second one we will do is purchase price accounting. A lot of companies in the US are doing mergers and acquisitions these days. And so I took up this topic because it's very close to me. How is the company treating its mergers when it's doing the purchase, when it's doing a purchase or M&A. How does it value goodwill versus intangibles, which are still identifiable intangibles. So if these two topics interest you, give me a go ahead on this chat, and then I'll go forward. All right, I see that over here. Now, annual reports are interesting. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, guys. Raghav, can I segue over here, over to you, to take me through how we use AI? And we're going to use a public AI because all this data is publicly available. I'm going to talk about that in the next portion of this presentation. But today, right now, we're going to use ChatGPT as because the information that we're going to be using is public information. Over to you, Raghav.
Thank you, Pavan sir. Yeah. So, good morning, everyone, and good evening to the US members. Please let me know if you can see my screen, the one with Mastering Art of Prompt Engineering.
Yes.
Perfect. So while Pavan sir and I were preparing for this meeting, one of the first things he told me was, you need to be able to speak to machines. And till a few months, effectively, till a few months ago, the only way to speak to machines effectively was to learn a coding language. To be an SME in a subject and to become a programmer and then to merge the skills is a very daunting task. But that's where the beauty of using natural language comes in. It's very, very important to ask the correct questions so as to get the answers in the format you want. We've created a small document over here, which I'm happy to share in the chat in this lecture series. But what I'd first like to dive into as we go through the use case of annual report analysis is what is the mental process of generating prompts and what are the basics of building a solid prompt. The first thing always is identify the objective, define scope, and come up with a clear objective. In this case, our objective is, let's look at the publicly available financial documents, the annual report, and see if there are any material weaknesses. I'll move on to an absolutely hidden gem of a tool. I'm being sarcastic there because ChatGPT is available to literally all of us. The thing that we need to be able to do effectively is to harness it. So over here, I have already downloaded 4 documents, the annual report and the last 3 quarterly report of a quarterly financial report of a publicly listed company. I upload it to GPT. Then I do something very, very simple. I tell it that I am attaching documents. I tell it how I would request it documents. And then I apply my logic to it. The use case that we are looking at is to see if there are material weaknesses. If I ask the question of directly tell me, are there any material weaknesses in the attached documents, I will get an answer and I will get a good answer. But that is something that is very generic and that is not as in-depth as chartered accountants or the ethos of chartered accountants takes us to. So we apply the subject matter expertise. When are there material weaknesses? What is a trend that can be observed in order to see material weaknesses exist? In discussion with Pavan sir, he mentioned that that's restatements. If a company has gone through several restatements, that is a likely indicator that there could be material weaknesses. So I give it a prompt. Prompt is as simple as in the attached documents for so-and-so company. As an accountant in India, so I'm identifying how I would like GPT to interact. Review these documents to identify restatements. Okay.
Yep. And Raghav, as this is happening, a reason why we picked up restatements is from an angle that if there are any restatements, then there is likely chance that there is a weakness in internal controls. And I'm using just the internal control weakness part of it as my analysis of a material weakness, because, by the way, not all material weaknesses are bad or are equal. They're all having something bad, but they're not equal. So I will have to delve deeper into it, and we can do that with more questioning. But can I get to see, is there a problem in the accounting over here or weaknesses over here? Now, what you saw over here was I just put this question and I instantly get these answers. Go ahead, Raghav, explain this, please.
Correct. So what's happened right now is we've read about 600 pages, around 450, 500 pages from the annual report, and analyzed all the three financial reports. But we've got something which is slightly vague. We've got something which brings us to where the data is, that there are expected rebalances over here. There is unaudited advice conditions are noted in the audit, particularly regarding recoverables of so and so worth so and so. Okay, what happened in December? Okay, now again, to dive further deep, I add another layer. How do these indicate towards material weaknesses? As an accountant in India, how do these restatements indicate towards a material weakness? We dive in further over here. What we are likely to get is an analysis between the documents that have been read, the output that has already been provided, and a direct connection of that to the material weaknesses. Okay, so there are persistent issues with a particular aspect this company is dealing with. There is non-recognition of interest on loans, and there are adverse auditor comments. Okay, non-determination of financial obligations, that's a big one in my understanding. Recurring concerns over going concerns assumptions. Okay, liability. Okay, then it is also telling me what are implications for material weaknesses. Now, at this stage, if we look at very, very basic prompting, we've been able to, with our clear objective, come up with something very specific. And we've given it a certain layer of context as well. I think the larger topic that we had also touched upon was, how do I use this information to actually make a difference in my world as an accountant, or how do I use it to potentially even attract business? So I see, okay, who can I contact? Again, all of this information is publicly available. Let me see the names of the board members along with their email addresses, because again, somewhere hidden in the annual report is all of this information. I do not purport that you can't do this work manually. You can. And I, in fact, sometimes suggest that there are documents that you must read through yourselves. But if you want to do questions like this, if you want to go about doing all of this information rapidly, then using a tool like this helps you do the heavy lifting. Let's say the Pareto's principle, 80% of the work can get done with a tool that you are using, and you come in for the finer aspects over here. Let's
pause. Yeah. Let's pause just for a second, Raghav. I think what I wanted to say over here, what I wanted to do over here in this very short session, I know there are a couple of questions coming over here. The idea I'm trying to put over here, as Raghav mentioned, this is a review of 600 plus pages. This is a review of somebody who's assisting you with the power of AI and getting you this information in less than a minute, less than 2 minutes, okay, and because Raghav was like talking about it while we were doing this, possibly about 2-3 minutes of this information. Of course, you will have doubts. How authentic is this information? How much of hallucination is there in this information? Of course, there will be some amount of hallucination in this information. Having said that, what you must note over here is at least 80% or 90% of this information is coming from the 4 documents that we have loaded. We are not asking it to, of course, the language part of it or the understanding part of it outside those documents, but the information is largely coming from those documents. And I will talk about that in just a bit more detail. But the impact I'm trying to say over here is, this is in front of you an example of something which would have taken you 4 to 5 hours of review, if not more. Sometimes for the smarter people, for the people who have got into the habit, they need to know, they get to the page very quickly. But something about 3 to 4 hours of effort broken down into a few minutes. Some question has come over here. Thanks for sharing one question. Hold on 1 second. Yep. Okay, we'll come back to the question about Excel and stuff like that. Yes, Excel is, Excel is, number crunching is a problem with LLMs right now. It's improving, but number crunching is something, a math problem, which needs to be solved outside of the LLM. We'll talk about that also. Very good. Very interactive session. Thank you so much for that.
But just to answer the question again on Excel, number crunching is a problem, but despite that, data of relatively poor quality. You see on the screen, this is one of the 4 documents that's uploaded. It's got slanting data, it's got tabular data, and the output that it's provided at this high level, again, right now we're at the base level of prompting, it's provided an analysis of this. I am not gone into the number crunching side of things just yet. And I think there are a few, as Pavan sir mentioned, he'll talk about it later, because there are a few other aspects of not just capability, but should you be using GPT to do that. I think as we come on to this extremely basic side of using GPT in a very interesting way of reading 600 documents while about 171 people look, the other important side always is human intelligence first. What do I get my tools to do? And how do I get them to do it? Right now, what I've done is a very gross thing. I have taken documents, given it to my junior. I've given 5 questions, given it to my junior. In this case, my junior is, say, 80 billions of minds. Now, if I want, let's say, my junior also to give me better output, I need to give it better instructions. The better instructions come in twofold. One, the language I use to communicate with the junior, and 2, and more importantly, the thoughts that I put in before delegating the work in order to receive an effective output. At this stage, I'd like to take a pause from ChatGPT and go behind the scenes of the thinking work that you can do to help improve your utilization of any AI tool.
Yeah, this is exactly where I say the importance of the subject matter expertise, not the expert, but the expertise. You all, as auditors, as accountants, have great knowledge of all the accounting standards. You apply these on a regular basis. Now, all you're doing is applying all that knowledge set. That's your expertise. You put it in a flow. Go ahead, Raghav, explain this. This is where it becomes very interesting that you don't need to know coding anymore. Sudha, you and I were talking about this earlier in the day. Coding is no longer required. What we need to understand is, how do we do prompting? That is going to be the most interesting part of the next several years from here. How we do prompting, how we apply our subject matter expertise, that is going to determine our success. Raghav,
absolutely, Pavan. I mean, and the thing is, with prompting, who can do it better than the subject matter expert, right?
Absolutely.
Your programmer cannot do it, right? Only you can do it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So for many, many years in the product cycle, one envisioned the SME and the developer to sit together and to develop the tool. However, that led to a longer cycle, and that led to tool being a very static tool. Right now, it's dynamic because the SME, as and when the requirements keep coming up, can ask the questions. If you see over here on the screen, what I've laid out is a structure where the user journey is very straightforward. What is the name of the company? What is the ticker? What are the sources? What are the services the user wants to read? And the output, a report on the relevant service from the source. But what happens in the background is something that a chartered accountant who's using AI should understand. What's happening is identification of the company is happening. The data sources which are utilized, annual reports, Form 10K, 10Q reports, transcripts of audio that the CXOs have provided, all of those data sources can be utilized. In this case, we're talking only about publicly available data until a point, and then I think Pavan sir is going to shed some light on it. After that, what do you want to do with that data? What do you do with that publicly available data? How does it benefit you? And in terms of what Pavan sir was saying, how does it make you look good? You ask the relevant questions. You teach what kind of a report do you want, and you generate that report. Now let's look at what those questions could look like. So over here, I have 3 versions of those questions in front of me. I'm looking for 14 points. I'm not going to go through each of those, but just give an overview of how you can improve your background homework to make your AI work well for you. You come up with a list of actually what do I need in order to identify something regarding the intangible assets. I need to get these 14 points. This is an interchangeable thing. We could be talking about land acquisition. We could be talking about a different kind of account. But in this use case for intangible assets, these are the 14 points. Okay, I need an acquisition overview. What are the dates and sizes of the acquisitions made during the reporting period? This is the information we need. How do we change that into a prompt? List the acquisitions made during the reporting period, including the date and size of acquisition. Okay, how can we further refine? Provide a list of all acquisitions completed during the reporting period. Specify the exact date of acquisition and the size of each company in terms of total assets or revenue at the time of acquisition. In such a manner, the prompts itself in the background can evolve. As the prompts evolve, the output that you seek becomes better. Also, there is a fallacy that we go with, which is again covered in this document, that it's always the first question that you ask should get you the correct answer. Even in the live demonstration, there was a question that did not get answered. You need to be able to approach it from different angles. Go ahead with the chain of thought prompting. Get a certain level of information, then add further questions on that, then add further questions on that. Go in for a feedback loop. This was a good answer. I want answers in this particular format. Teach it the kind of output you want. So if we look at the use case that we're talking about, generate a summary report. If I give it a prompt, generate a report based on these 14 questions, it will give it to me. It will give it to me fast, and it will give it to me relatively accurate. However, if in my input, I update a summary report in the exact format that I want, give me a tabular structure for this output, give me point output for this particular question, give me this particular analysis with regard to this question, in the output itself becomes more predictable, becomes more easily analyzable by the human involved.
And just to add over there, that is the signature you leave. It's an output by ChatGPT, but the signature is that of the person who is actually asking the question, because the style in which you will ask the question, the level of detail that you will go into is your subject matter expertise. So please do a lot of tinkering, understand this, because this goes a long way in defining who you are and how you're going to use AI in the future. Gaurav ji, please, can you tell us how much time we have left?
Yes, sir. You can take as per your comfort, sir.
Okay. Perfect. Raghav?
So correct. So just broadly wrapping things up over here. In the 3 post-its that you see is the process that we are doing. What are the requirements? What are the output? And what are the operations that are being run? So all of this that I shared after moving away from ChatGPT is the homework undertaken. Can you please enlarge? Surely. All of this is the homework that's undertaken in order to effectively query, in order to effectively get the output that one would like. I would very, very briefly like to run through the document of mastering the art of prompt engineering for accountants. Over here, we've left in a lot of examples that you can use exactly of prompts. But I think a better way of utilizing this document would be to understand the essence of it and generate your own prompts. Experiment with that, please. So we see we've already covered the basics, the intermediaries. We've roughly touched on chain of thought. To leverage domain-specific language, we cannot stress more how important an SME is. You see over here, we use the correct language. We were talking about very specific accounting language, which is why we were able to get output. There is also aspect of using MyGPT's AI agents and to go through iterative refinement, which I think, Pavan sir, if you'd like to cover, please. Thank you.
Yes, yes. I'm going to cover that in just a second over here. Raghav, thank you very much for this informative session. I think I'm hoping it was very fast, but I'm hoping that it has given you an idea because, by the way, I'll tell you something. The most learning is going to come by you yourself doing this. We are happy to, and we will be absolutely sharing this mastering prompting, as a part of this session. Hopefully you will like it, and we'll be happy to take any of your questions right after that.
May I please just add one more thing? Somebody in the questions had mentioned certification courses for prompt engineering, how to go about it, what do I do? There are a lot of data available. Coursera has things from multiple universities. NVIDIA came out with a lot of free courses as well. But the best course, go through those courses. The best course is going to be the time that you invest in learning how to do it. Like learning anything, if you start enjoying it, you work better at it. For me, it had come in very handy when I made some art using GPT. Those skills were also transferable into directly using GPT and AI in general for specific accounting purposes. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghav. So what we saw over here is the power of AI. As you could see, anything that was taking about 3 hours could be brought down to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Roughly, the order of magnitude over here is 10x. This is what we say. Whatever was taking 1 hour can now be done in 5 minutes, roughly, So order of magnitude of 10, if we take it, that means I'm going to get 10x benefit if I use AI. Of course, I have to be very confident about the use of AI. Why? Because I don't know how much of the AI is correct. I got some questions like that. How much of it is authentic? Of course, you have to put in time to validate that information. So what does it mean? What it means is that now everybody can have a personal assistant. What do you do with a personal assistant? You give him work, he gives you an answer, you validate, finds good, move forward. Not good, make the corrections, move forward. But it's extremely important to know your subject matter, and that's what will be the homework for this session. Please think about this. Happy to receive emails from you. My email will be shared, and I'll be more than glad to receive emails and respond to them. I'm going to go to the next slide over here. Okay, so let's understand what is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is usually confused with OpenAI. They are two different things. OpenAI is the main GPT model, a model which is transforming, right? You've got 3.5, you've got 4, and 4 vision is coming up, already come actually, and hopefully very soon a larger version will come. The brief story about ChatGPT or rather OpenAI is that they use the entire internet's data to train their models. Okay. We'll talk about that, how controversial that is, but we'll talk about that in a bit. On top of their model, they have put up a chatbot. That chatbot is called ChatGPT. So ChatGPT uses OpenAI. ChatGPT is my interface to send inputs, and then OpenAI learns it or answers that question, and I get the output. Then some of this information goes into training as well. Okay, I send this information from here into my training module so that I can make learnings out of it. And then this is how ChatGPT works. There's an OpenAI training part of it, learns that engine, learns that information, and reuses that information in the future. Again, controversial, but we'll talk about that. Of course, OpenAI also has its crawlers, which are looking at the internet, and whatever is, they can pick up, they bring that information in, and to create, they have to remain up to date. Their knowledge has to be updated regularly. So they use all that information to keep their models up to date. That's why you see the models which will have this information, control over this information, will be the winners. Somebody asked the question, which AI is better? Your answer is pretty much there. The ones that have control over the data will be the winners. That is why data is a natural resource. That data flows into these training models, and these training models, which means basically the companies like OpenAI, which is half bought by Microsoft. There's probably talk about Apple buying portion of OpenAI. All these companies will govern. They own the data of the world right now, and they're going to use that for training. Any questions? Any concerns on that part? You should have concerns, by the way. You should have concerns. That's the next part of my conversation over here. When should I use ChatGPT? This is a very simple flowchart I've created over here, because my first concern is, as accountants, you should not use ChatGPT for any data which is behind an NDA, something which is not public. It's your customer's data. Be careful about it. Do not use ChatGPT. Why? You are not going to be sure whether that data is going to be used by ChatGPT for training. What happens if somebody else gets access to that data? We don't know that. So don't expose it. Use this very simple flowchart to understand when you will use when you should use ChatGPT. It is my humble opinion, and I would be very careful as an accountant of not using ChatGPT for anything confidential. No point in taking any risk, and that's true for any AI, publicly available AI right now. So, question is, does it matter whether the output is true or not? Somebody was asking authentic data. If it doesn't matter, no problem. If it matters, then be careful. And do you have the expertise to analyze it? Yes. Good. No. Be careful. So it's a very simplistic way of laying it out. I'm hoping that you will like it. This again, I will share it so that you can use it for your own benefit. While we talk about this whole public and private, I think the most important conversation that is happening today is this whole concept. You look at all the large big fours, they banned the use of ChatGPT. And if you're an employee of any of these companies, you would know that they don't allow you to have ChatGPT on the machine that they have given you to work on. So why? And the reason is this whole concern about exposing their data. And therefore, privacy concerns on your data is determining the lack of, the usage of LLM. The LLM usage is, was expected to go up even further, and it will go up further. And that is, but the concern is privacy of data. As Jensen Huang also said, natural resource, data is power, data is king. How will I stop it from being misused? So that is going to be a big dialogue. And one of the ways this is getting handled is through what we call as vector databases. Now, this is a complex topic. I'm not going to go into too much of a detail over here, but just from a knowledge point of view, please take this information, do some more research about it. But the idea is vector databases in an architecture for private GPTs are now very, very, very commonly being used by large corporates. They use a vector database. They put all their data over there, and then the vector database sends the information out to the LLM in very small tokens, something like this. You create a vector database, you put the embeddings in the model over here. Embeddings means how the data relates to each other. And then you go to the LLM in small contexts, small chunks, as they're called, and get the responses. This one architecture has become very powerful over the last, this is all very, very new, right? This is all happening since 2023, February of 2023. So a lot of development, fast-paced development is happening. And I've been fortunate to be part of this journey myself. The mangodog.ai that we created is a vector database driven application, uses a lot of LLM, but uses in a safe manner. Okay. But I'd like you to take a jab at it, try and understand what these vector databases is. This is again a homework that I'll give you for this session, but have an understanding of this. It'll help you. I'm hoping that it'll help you make the difference between what you will take to ChatGPT and what you will not take to ChatGPT. Okay. Yep, that is it for what I had today. I wanted to see, I have a couple of more slides, but the idea was this is the homework. I would like you to give a homework to you in the sense, use this session and take the ideas from here and find out what would you use ChatGPT for attracting new business. I think that's the best way to start using AI. How can I use AI to attract more business? If that is of any help, then I'd like to see, share your knowledge with me, share your knowledge or your ideas, and then we'll help you create some good, come up with some good ideas on how you can use this. Okay. So just to do a little recap over here, what we did is we understood the benefits of AI. I hope you saw the benefit, how fast you can do a lot of work in such a small time. That means you'll increase the accuracy slowly by improving your prompts. Efficiency is going to go up, and hopefully that'll reduce the cost of all the work that happens. So that's the main driver of AI in accounting. Actually, AI in anything, these are the drivers for that. Let's do a very quick recap. We spoke about, we started with the scope of, of the impact of AI. What is AI? It's a combination of machine learning. It's a combination of robotic processing, robotic processing. And then, of course, we spoke about the fact that how you can use that by, ChatGPT. We did 2 use cases, and I think I gave you all a lot of homework. So that is it, what I had for you today. Let me just open up the questions over here.
Even if you have any query, to all the participants, even if you have any query, you can always drop email to our speaker Pavan Singh ji. And even I'm giving a smarter way. Like you can have a screenshot of the session right now and put it on LinkedIn. Ask your query, tag to Pavan Singh ji, Sudha ji, Raghav ji, and everyone, and get it resolved. So it will be better. Many people will be ensured at a time for your career as well. Yes.
Absolutely, Gauravji.
Yes, sir. Can we wind up, sir?
Yep, absolutely. Gauravji, again, esteemed panel over here, I wanted to thank you all for the time. And this is a great opportunity, great way to connect with and a give back to my community. I grew up in Delhi, so Delhi is very close to me. So, and North India is not just Delhi, but North India is North India. So, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, sir. I just want to use two-liner for you from the language Sanskrit. It has been like स्वदेशे पूज्यते राजा विद्वान सर्वत्र पूज्यते, कि एक राजा जो होता है उसकी पूजा केवल उसके राज्य में होती है, उसकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में होती है, लेकिन पवन सिंह जैसा कोई इंटेलेक्चुअल पर्सन जहां कहीं पे भी जाएगा वहां उसको सम्मान और इज्जत मिलेगी. एंड दैट इज व्हाट यू आर गेटिंग. You are from in the you are speaking right now from the Silicon Valley in the late evening, and people are eager to listen to you in the India in the early morning. This is what the power of an intellectual person carry. And you rightly mentioned that, sir. Even in the schools we used to learn that how a machine works. It's like input, processing, and output. The output is totally dependent on input. So AI cannot replace anyone, but the person, those who have a good knowledge, that even the AI need good input for the best output. There is a phrase we use, garbage in, garbage out,
Yes.
which is practically for AI also. And for those who have missed this chance in the early morning and the late evening in the USA, we have it is on the YouTube also. Like it will be on YouTube of NIRC. We will be giving you a link for that. Now I request to the office to give the certificate to respected speaker for this wonderful session. It was a self-explanatory PPT which explained us all. Please give a big round of applause for Honorable Speaker CA Pavan Singh ji for delivering a session right from the Silicon Valley to all the members throughout the world. Now I request to give a certificate to Mr. Raghav Mehrotra ji, who has helped our speaker Pavan Singh ji thoroughly in the whole webinar. Please give a round of applause for Raghav Mehrotra ji also.
Thank you, sir.
Please give a appreciation certificate to the chairman of San Francisco chapters, C. Sudha Michael ji. She has been very kind and very innovative. She has accepted our request and she has collaborated with the NIRC. Please give a big round of applause for C. Sudha Michael. And I also want to tender my apology that we missed to introduce CA Manisha Anarkat ji, Secretary San Francisco chapter of ICI. From day one, she has helped us in each and everything, from planning of the event to all each and everything. I am really sorry, Manisha ji. We missed your introduction. I am really sorry. I hope you will understand. And now I will request to please give a certificate to Vish Arunachalam ji, the founder, chairman, director of San Francisco chapter. Please also present a certificate to the moderator of the event, CA Rajat Jain ji, for coordinating the event very well. Thank you, Rajat, for being there with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And we will be looking forward for such a wonderful program from you all, San Francisco chapter. Especially, I request you for such more program with you. And when we were having this webinar, we were gathered here today. We find ourselves in the heart of Silicon Valley. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you to everyone for being there. And thanks to my chairman NIRC, Abhinav Agarwal ji. Thanks to Vinit Kohli ji for being their J&K branch chairman, like the most favored destination in the India to visit. And I hope soon the J&K branch will host to the US chapter also very soon, right? Thank you very much. Thank you to all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.